So what exactly do you have to do? What exactly do you have to go through? What exactly are the struggles that come with making 25K a month? That's the golden question, right? If you don't know me, my name's Jackson. I'm 21 and I'm fortunate enough to have made it to that point, and I'm fortunate enough to live in a place like this. And I want to explain exactly, all the things that I had to go through, all the struggles, my journey up until where I am today. And I just want to keep it as raw and authentic as possible to give you guys exactly like what it takes, because a lot of people will, tell you the wrong things, or they'll make it sound easier than it is, and I'm just here to give it to you straight. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you like where I went from, where I came from, and how I got to where I am today. It all kind of started with a vision, like a dream of becoming successful and, wanting more out of my life and realizing that my time is just limited and I can't make more of it. And I realized that I needed to make a change. I needed to be a producer rather than a consumer. And I just had this sudden mindset switch. Like that's the day, November 12th. I'll never forget the day. It's permanently ingrained in my head. But yeah, I knew that I had to get a job. I needed to make money. If I wanted to start making money online, I knew that I had to start getting a job and start making a little bit of money. So ultimately, I got a job at Jimmy John's, right? And this was one of the first struggles that I had, because I had to make a lot of sacrifices. Like, I had to lose a lot of my friends because all I would do is just work and research and then go to work and then go to school. Like I didn't really have anybody. It was very isolating. So like that's one of the first struggles that you're gonna go through. It's just this super isolating period of just nothing. Like you're not making any money, you're not talking to anybody, you just got your head down and you're grinding. That's it. And whenever I was at Jimmy John's, I was working weekend bar rush shifts till 3 in the morning. I wouldn't have slept. Like I didn't hit the bed till 5 in the morning. Like my head didn't hit the pillow till 5, and completely ruined my sleep schedule. But like that was the sacrifice I had to make. It was literally the only job I could have gotten in the area. And I just had to put up with it, like I needed money to invest in myself and get into high ticket sales and start making money online. And that's exactly what I did. And it was a lot of struggle because you're not making any money, and, like there's no one supporting you. Everyone's hating on you and you have nothing to show for it. So it's just very detrimental at first. But if you just push past that initial barrier and you just want it bad enough and you don't care what anybody thinks, and you just are so laser focused on what you want and how you're going to get it, then you're good. Like just focus on yourself and God. Keep God close too, because that's a regret that I have. Yeah, and then eventually like I got mentored in high ticket sales, and I had to invest in myself, and I was so scared. Like I had to put all my money into it. Like the amount of money that I made from work was going all into this. I didn't know if it was gonna work. I didn't know if I was gonna make shit happen. I didn't know if I was gonna even make a single dollar, genuinely. And I was so scared to start. And like that fear of taking the leap of faith, like actually putting my back against the wall, is what held me back for so long. And finally doing it was really scary, but it was also so exciting at the same time, because it's like you're now locked into this. Like I'm spending my money, learning high ticket sales, all this. And like I gotta go balls to the wall. I don't have a choice. What am I just gonna waste my money, my hard-earned money that I'm trading my time with? Fuck no. You got me fucked up, bro. So like I was just grinding. I did not care about anything. Like my mental health maybe took a little bit of a toll. I didn't have any friends. I didn't really have an outlet. I mean, the only real thing I had was the gym, and that was pretty much it. I didn't have much else. It was just myself. I was just like learning and research. Of course I had like a mentor, but like it's really just you versus the mirror every single day. And one of the hardest phases is whenever you don't have any results. Like a lot of people will fail at the beginning just simply because they don't want it bad enough, and you have to go through a period where shit's not gonna happen. Like nothing is gonna happen for a long time, and you just have to accept that and fail forwards, because you're gonna go through things in the beginning stages where like shit just does not go your way. Like it does not go according to plan, and you just have to sit there and take that one on the chin. Like that's just how the cookie crumbles, So like if you can just, again, at this phase, if you can just understand the fact that failure is inevitable, like not seeing results for a while is inevitable, and accepting that and just saying, hey, I don't care, I'm gonna still put in the inputs, then you're gonna level up. Like you're not gonna fail like all those other people. And then it's gonna come to the point where you start to see some success. And this is exactly what happened to me. I was working at Jimmy John's, and I actually landed my first offer with high ticket sales. And I was doing it during college class, like lectures. Like I was literally DM setting people. I was texting people, like pulling up the CRM on my laptop. And I had these kids next to me, and they're like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, this does not look like what we're supposed to be doing. And I was like, yeah, of course not, bro. I don't give a fuck about school. Like genuinely, I mean, school was great, but it's not what I wanted to do, and it was not like my purpose in life and what I wanted, where I wanted to be. Like it wasn't going to take me anywhere. So I didn't care what other people thought. I was literally just doing it in front of them. Like I had some kids laughing behind me because I was just sending random people. I didn't care. I dead ass did not care. I was making money. Like I was actually making like $250 every time I got someone to book a call with me. And my first month, I made almost $3,000. And that was more money than I was making from my job. That was more money than my monthly paycheck. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going all in. And one of the hardest transition periods is where you're working or you're in school or both, and you're trying to make money online because you have so much going on at one time. It's a lot on your plate. And you just got to be ready to deal with that stress, bro. Because like that stress is coming. It's inevitable, right? You just got to tank it. Essentially, like that's the best way I can put it. You just have to have the mental fortitude to just keep pushing where most people quit, because it's kind of like, I remember showing somebody this. It was like a graph, and it's essentially saying how 40% of people don't even try, and then you have like 20% of people who fail on the first attempt and then quit, and then you have like 10% of people who quit when it gets hard, and then really you're just competing with yourself and one other person for the success that you're looking for, and that's exactly what it's about. So like, how far down are you willing to go on that graph? That's the real question. So yeah, a bunch of struggle, like balancing the job, like I said, working late, going to school, until I finally started making money with high ticket sales. And then I quit my job, and that was so relieving. Because at that point it was like, I'm all in on high ticket sales, and maybe I go to school, go to class whenever I want. I didn't have to work the job anymore though, so I had all this extra time to allocate into it. And this is really where it becomes addicting, because you know that the money is possible, you know that you can make it, and then you just go balls to the wall every day. You just keep making money, you keep booking calls, whatever you're doing. Like whenever you start to make money, you realize you can make so much more, and then you just go. It's like a drug, like literally it's a drug. And it'll eventually get to the point where you make a lot of money, right? Like I made what did I say, 2,800 my first month. Then I made almost 5,000 my second month. So then I realized, okay, wow, this shit is actually possible. Like I'm actually doing it, right? And it's still like, at this stage, don't tell anybody. Like it should be within your best interest to just not tell anybody. Like literally go ghost if you can. And like, that's what I was saying, like being isolated is kind of hard because you don't have anybody, but it's for the best, honestly. Like all these motherfuckers that your quote unquote true friends, are probably going to try and bring you down, honestly. Like if you're actually doing something with your life, and I experienced this firsthand with my fraternity brothers, like I was actually doing shit and they were trying to bring me down. Fuck that, bro. Like I don't need anybody like that in my life. I don't need that energy in my life. And then once you start to make money, like once I started making money, I eventually started learning closing, and I started closing deals, and then it got all the way up to I made my first 10K month. And I'm not gonna lie to you, whenever you make your first $10,000 online, it's pretty underwhelming. I mean, it's exciting at first, but then it's kind of when you realize that there is so much more money to be made. Like there are literal levels to this shit. So like the best way I can describe the feeling to you is, for me, it was the most amount of money that I had ever had, but it was the poorest that I had ever felt. Put it that way. It's kind of when you realize like you're in the big leagues now, like you got to put your big boy pants on and start grinding it out, right? And I started scaling my income. Like I was taking all these calls all day, and it was pretty like detrimental to my mental health, because I was working 12 hours a day at this point. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I stopped going to the gym. Like I was skipping meals and everything just because I was taking calls all day. I didn't care about anything else but making money. And eventually I started making a lot of it, and it was great, but life was not enjoyable for me at all. Like it was just waking up and doing the same thing. But I was obsessed. I was so obsessed because I wanted it so bad. I wanted to actually like say to myself, hey, you can actually do it, because I sucked at everything in my life. I quit everything, and now that I'm actually succeeding for once in my life, it's like everything's coming together, right? No. Unfortunately, there's a quote that I can't remember. I think it's from the movie Limitless. It's like, why is it that whenever you get everything that you've ever wanted, that the knife appears at your back? And that's kind of what happened to me, but it wasn't somebody, it was more so myself. So I started making all this money, and eventually almost $20,000 a month at this point, and I got comfortable. Like I didn't even realize it too. Like it was more of just like a natural like decline, and I stopped working as hard. I stopped like caring. I never had this much money in my life, so I realistically didn't have to work. And like this is another struggle that you're going to experience is you've never touched this money in your life before. Like you don't have to work at all. Like you're pretty much, even though you're not financially free, like you're free. Like you don't have to work for X amount of time. And when you realize that, it's so easy to just wake up in the morning and choose not to work, because like you have the comfortability to know that you got racks on racks on racks in your bank account for the first time ever, instead of being broke. So it's so easy to just slip back into the old habits, and that's exactly what I did. And it was terrible. Like I lost pretty much everything. Like I had tried to, start a business at this point, and I stopped caring about that. It didn't really work. I stopped making money. I stopped taking calls. I stopped working entirely. And it was at that point where I was just kind of posting content. Nothing was really happening. And I started to realize, like, why is nothing working? Like, what is going wrong? Like, I was just coping so hard because I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know what I could be doing. I was just telling myself lies. It was terrible. And it was so detrimental because, like, I put in all this hard work and now it feels like it was all for nothing. And at this point, I realized I got to do something. And like, whenever you get to this point, if you do, you got to like get back up. You got to get out of this failure zone, because the longer that you stay in this failure zone for, it's way harder to get out of the longer you stay in it. Like, if you're in the failure zone for a couple months, like, it's going to be extremely hard to break those bad habits and that identity that you've created now. So whenever you're in that failure zone, just learn from your mistake as fast as you can. Just get back up as if nothing happened. I know that's easier said than done, but that's what you got to do. You got to put the big boy pants on. You got to strap up your boots and just get the fuck after it again. Like, if you had a shit day, like I had a shit day yesterday, didn't really get much work done, and now I'm back at it today. I've been locked in all day. Like, you just got to treat it like nothing happened and get back right into that flow, into that identity that you know that you should be acting as, right? Like, doing the work that you know you should be doing and just doing it every day. And just being so obsessed. I cannot explain to you, like, it doesn't even matter how much talent you have. If you're not obsessed, it means nothing in the grand scheme of things. So I became obsessed again because I realized if I can do it once, I can do it again. And I went all in. Again, I started taking so many calls. I started posting more content. Business started doing, but I started working like almost, I don't want to say 16 hours, but like pretty much like as soon as I woke up from my morning routine to the end of the night, that was my schedule. And besides the gym, I was working all day. I did not care. I was so obsessed. I was a robot. And that's what you should be. Like, if you really want to see success, you got to cast out those emotions. Stop thinking about the outputs and really just become a robot. I know that sounds stupid, but just doing the same thing every single day, executing every single day on the non-negotiables is going to allow you to succeed. And that's exactly what I did. And I climbed my way back up to the top. I didn't care what it took. I didn't care the amount of work that I had to put in. And this is when I started having faith with God too. I started believing in God. I started to realize that like half the reason why I failed is because I didn't have God. And I don't mean to press like religion on you, but like for me, like it changed my life, like genuinely. And just being aligned with the best possible version of myself and having him with me has just really got me to where I am today, honestly. And like I trusted in him, I trusted in myself, I believed in myself. You gotta believe in yourself too. If you don't believe you can do it, if you don't have the self-confidence, if you just doubt yourself and overthink, you're not gonna get anywhere. That shit doesn't do you any good to think like that at all. It provides no benefit to your life, so why even invite it? Why even open the door for it, you know? So always just manifest like that identity that you want to become every time you go to bed. Like I want you to just visually think about the person that you want to become, like the things that you want to have, materials, whatever, not to make it materialistic, but envision that person that you want to look like so vividly, because your brain cannot tell the difference between a real life experience and a vision or an imagination or something that you're imagining so vividly. It cannot tell the difference, and your nervous system is going to catch up and you are slowly going to become that person. And that's essentially like the law of attraction and manifestation, whatever you want to call it. That's how it works. And it's real. It's exactly what I did. It's exactly like what got me here. And I climbed all the way back up and I started making money. And now I'm living in my dream apartment because I wanted it so badly. I manifested it. I envisioned it so badly, and I did what it took. I did the proper actions to get here. And now I'm here. But I want to mention to you just as kind of like a general summary before I kind of end it. I don't want to yap for too long, but you're going to go through a lot of hard shit. It's impossible. It's impossible to have an easy road. Like you're going to, like, I don't want to make this sound ominous, but you're going to go through like things that you're not probably going to be ready for. And you just have to be ready to deal with them. Like you got to be ready to just take it on the chin. Like I said, there are going to be a lot of lessons you have to learn, a lot of hard things you're going to go through, but it's so worth it. I would not live any other way. I would not have it any other way. This is the life that I want. This is the life that you want. And that is how it has to be. It's the hardest life path, but it's the most rewarding. Always remember that. Because you're doing shit that 99% of people can't even fathom. They just are on autopilot all day, but you're over here just grinding your ass off, or at least attempting to or wanting to. At least you have that vision. Be so grateful for the vision that you have, because some people will never wake up. And that's the sad reality. You can't help everybody. You gotta help yourself. So if you can't even help yourself, how do you expect to help other people? Right? Just keep that in mind, bro. You only really live once. You only got one shot at this. So why keep mentally masturbating yourself? Why keep telling yourself another day? Why keep telling yourself, I'm not ready, or whatever overthinking you're telling, self-doubt, whatever the bullshit is that you're feeding yourself, quit that shit. Like, what is the point? You know? So I'm gonna end it off on this. Have that vision, have that why, morph into that identity that you know that you should be morphing into, and trust in God, most importantly, because that's what really helped me. But I hope that you got some value out of this. I hope that you made it to the end of this video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to learn more about what I do, just click the first link in the description. It's how I make my money. It's how I live here, and I'm fortunate enough to help other people doing it as well. But yeah, stay locked in. A lot easier said than done. It's simple but not easy. Don't overcomplicate it. And yeah, catch you in the next video. Peace.